I'm Lisa Harris, and I'm with the Alameda County Library. I've been working with inmates in adult literacy for a really long time, and I see some familiar faces here that I've known for many, many years. My principal position at the Alameda County is that I'm in charge of inmate literacy services for the Alameda County jail system, which includes Santa Rita Jail in Dublin, which houses on any day upwards of 3,000 inmates. It's the main jail for Alameda County Alameda County, both male and female inmates, and the Glenn Dyer facility in downtown Oakland, which houses about 750 inmates. I have been working with adult literacy in various forms and iterations for about 18 years at both of those facilities. And it occurred to me one day when I was out at the Santa Rita Jail in Dublin that there were a lot of kids waiting to see parents, family at the during visiting hours at the Santa Rita Jail. And I thought, no, someone should be doing something with all of this time. And at the time, the way visiting was structured at that jail, a child could literally get there at 7 in the morning for a 3 o'clock in the afternoon visit and be waiting all day long. So nothing to do. They were sort of running around, eating stuff out of the vending machines and driving their parents crazy. So I thought, what a great thing it would be if we could get some books into the hands of these kids. And it really was that simple. We started a program in January of 2007 we had about 200 family literacy books on the shelves, a program that I called Start with a Story. And I based this on the premise, I'm going to give you just a few statistics, and you may know these, but about almost 900,000 children, 856,000 to be exact, in California, have a parent that's currently involved in some form or fashion with the criminal justice system, which includes prison, state prison, county jail, or on some form of probation or parole. The great majority of these kids, about 30% of them, 30 to 40% of them, are under the age of 10. So we started this program based on a wing and a prayer with a few volunteers and some books that the volunteers began to read stories to the kids during visiting hour. We are now serving at the 2 jail facilities upwards of, we have served as much as 300 kids per weekend with about 10 volunteers between the 2 jail facilities. We're there all day at the Glenn Dyer facility from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and we're there at the Santa Rita Jail from 8 to 11 p.m. So these are just some of the really great pictures that we have. Each kid gets to take home a free book. We've also found that Start with a Story is a terrific time, a terrific opportunity to reach the parents of the kids who are waiting to see someone in jail as well. We have a book plate inside each book that a child gets to take home that gives adult literacy information and says learn to read and write better. And it has the number of the Bay Area literacy organizations, the 1-800 number. And we will often have parents who will tell us, I need you to give me a book that I can read because I can't read this book to my child. We'll say it very much on the sly, but still wanting the adult literacy information. We have turned both of these programs into miniature library branches. We ran the summer reading game at both facilities over the summer, and it was our own form of the summer reading game, which basically we gave the kids the game boards, the same ones that they would get at a branch, and every time they came out to the jail, for every half hour that they spent reading, because not only are the kids getting a story at the jail, but they're also getting a time just to browse the collection of books that we have, and it really has turned into a library branch. For every half hour that they spent there, they got a stamp, and like the summer reading game works, once they fill up a row, they get to take a prize home. And we gave away all the prizes. We served a tremendous number of kids. About 500 kids were served this summer with the summer reading game. And the game boards that we had also included information about local library branches. Our biggest challenge with the Start with a Story program from the point of view of wanting to get the kids into the library branch, that being the ultimate goal, is that the kids come from everywhere. They don't just come from Alameda County. They often come from Contra Costa County. Our library system primarily serves the southern Alameda County region, with the exception of Albany. But our kids often, and our families, are often coming from Oakland and Berkeley. So we do have bookmarks and materials at the table, the kiosk at the jail, that gives information about these programs, or these library branches in these other cities. So that's our biggest challenge. We want to get the kids into the branches. We also have bookmarks that have a miniature version of a library card application. And all the kid needs to do is take it to a library branch, and they can get one of our library branches, and they can get a library card. We are not trying to do adult literacy. We're not trying to do child literacy. We're simply trying to start with a story. All of that happens when you start with a simple story and give a young child a basic love of literature and of books. And indeed, some of these kids completely depend on this service as their source of books. You have these kids that come back week after week asking for the next volume of Lemony Snicket, or the next volume of, or the next Goosebumps that they haven't read. And it really is very heartwarming to see these kids who you know that, but for this program, would not have any access to library books. Each child gets to keep a book, and the kids are so incredibly grateful. Another thing that I want to say is that often you'll get parents who, when you approach them and you simply say to them, "Can I read your kid a book?" at first glance, they're very suspicious. What do you mean? Do you need my social security number? I don't have my green card. There's a lot of suspicion until you just say, "I want to read your child a book," and give your kid a book to take home. And then there's this big bright smile that happens. And that's really all we're trying. We're not trying to set our goal too big. We really just want to get books into the hands of these kids. The program has been tremendously successful just in terms of how the community has supported us. All of our books come from donations from community members. We had a Boy Scout who did his Eagle Project by garnering 7,500 books from his friends and neighbors, schoolmates. We've had our library foundation has gotten us some foundation support, some private foundation support. So, and the other part of it just comes from volunteers who show up to read a story. So it's a very simple program, something that if you are thinking about working starting to do something in a correctional facility, it also is a really great way, just in terms of how we interact with the correctional staff, of getting them to let all their barriers down. Because where they may have some issues with, you provide this free service to inmate, no one takes issue with giving free books to kids. No one takes issue with that. So it's often a nice entree into the system so that you can expand what you do to work with their parents. And in fact, we believe that we will solve, and this is my one lofty goal for this program, we can solve the issue of adult literacy in the correctional system by simply starting with a story. So you hold your questions, and I'm happy to answer any after other speakers. Thank you.